Thanks.
Tough opponent. Wondering though, you're 23, and when you heard your name in the lineup for the first day, what was that feeling like for you?
Got to be playing a match is obviously an amazing opportunity. But yeah, I mean, to be obviously first of all involved in this event is is great for me. Like, I think the experience I get from here is something I'll always remember and hopefully benefit me as a tennis player. But to be, yeah, it was the other night. Got told, Grigor, you're starting, and then Carl, you're following him. So knowing, that you're going to represent your team in Europe and, be responsible on the court for getting your win for the team is, something you're looking forward to, exciting. Just want to get out there and play in that, amazing sort of spectacle. So to come away with a win and do your part for the team is something I'm very happy with.
Jack obviously had the momentum after the second set, but you were so steady in the tiebreaker. Did you tell yourself something after that second set to be ready?
Yeah, I mean, some of the guys as well were helping and saying, you're playing good tennis. Just a few balls in it, very close margins. I think the whole match I was playing at a good level, and I had the balance, pretty spot on, and had my opportunity in the second. So it was one of them going to third. It was just like, what did I do in the first set to get where I was? And I was playing very well, but very solid, not taking too many risks, but putting a lot of pressure on with margins. So going into the third set was just doing that, being aggressive, which is my game, and really asking him a lot of questions. And there was a run in the middle, sort of the start to the middle of the tie right there, where I got a lot of momentum and was playing very well.
Second row on the right here.
Hey, Kyle.
Hi.
We're taking fan questions on the Laver Cup Twitter.
Yeah.
And Lynn was wondering, what do you think you'll learn this week from your teammates and captains?
It's tough to know. I mean, maybe that question would be better answered at the end. But as I said, the whole experience, just being amongst the guys and getting to know them a bit better, is something you'll definitely take away. I mean, the spirit's been great, very relaxed, but everyone's been very professional with their preparation and taking the event very seriously and wanting to win and discussing tactics and stuff. But yeah, I don't know my teammates as well as I did coming in, but now I know them better. I think just the level in terms of the players of our team is world class. So for me to be in a world class environment as a tennis player can only help me, and hopefully at the end you learn little tips from whoever helps you and stuff.
Congrats, Kyle.
Right.
Obviously, Andy Murray's been very important in your career, and here we have Novak and Roger. My question is, why do you think in tennis for so many years the top 3 or 4 have just had this stranglehold, and there's so many great young players, but there hasn't been a real breakthrough? If you can comment on that.
I mean, the guys play at a very good level. They're very good professionals, but what they do, which shows in their ranking, is they're consistent week in, week out. There are players out there that obviously can beat them and have the level to beat them, but what those guys do is they do it every week, and they barely have any dips, and that's what really shows there's a consistency to do it. And also, the top guys are big match players, so when it comes to the big matches, they produce their best tennis, and I think that is why the key is why they're winning slams and they're at the top of the world rankings.
Second row in the middle.
Yeah. Carl, here. You're obviously used to playing team events and having a captain with you on the bench when you're playing a match. But what's it like actually having like 3 or 4 other guys coming down and talking in your ear and throwing suggestions at you? Is it distracting at all?
Not in this match. I didn't find it distracting. Of course, those guys are also tennis players, so and they're experienced. That they are aware that when you do say those things, sometimes they don't want it. So the guys are very sort of, you'd say calculated, not too much information, but encouragement and help the players out there to play and do his thing, and we all have trust in that player, but there's nothing wrong with encouragement, some advice at times. Also, an outside view can sometimes help, because when you're in the match, you're very focused. So, the balance was very good for me, not too much. And also the advice that is given to me from, captains and players, can't get much better. They're all top of the, world rankings, and obviously Bjorn and Thomas have been right up there winning lots of tournaments, so that, they know what they're talking about. Yeah.
Kyle, you've obviously started at the back.
Yeah.
You obviously started cementing yourself way more this year and getting more used to the whole environment. But at times you're still pinching yourself with the way things are going. A new endorsement from today, having somebody like Borg sitting beside you, being on a team, Thomas and Novak and Roger, Sasha, etc. At times are you still pinching yourself with the way things have gone this year?
Yeah, I think it's also that, that balance. This year has been that sort of step-up year in terms of that, bit more media attention, off-court stuff, expectations, but that's obviously, a good thing, you're going in the right direction. It's a balance of, I would like to think and are quite grounded and don't take things for granted. So like you said, being next to Bjorn and being in a team, some of the guys are legends in the sport, and the other guys are very, very good tennis players. And I do pinch myself. I mean, it is like, what an amazing opportunity to get to be here and also, play in that arena. The other side of it is, I have to look at myself and believe that I do belong here. I don't think you can be in an environment like this if you're tiptoeing around. You really have to be confident within yourself and believe in your game. So it's getting that right balance of knowing to be humble and also knowing when to be confident about yourself in the right moment.
First row on the left here. All the way on the left, yep.
So tagging on to confidence, Kyle, we talked about the big four, their talent unquestionable physically, but it's the mental side also that really brings them the edge. When you think about Roger, his positivity, Andy talks about fulfilling potential, Rafa's always talking about having the right motivation, Novak talking about belief. Are you aware of those subtle messages, and that all comes from within? And do you find yourself being more positive with yourself in terms of the way you talk?
What, recently? Or I don't know about recently. I'm always, even when I was younger, you always try and be positive. It's just, I think as you get older, you learn a bit more and you gain confidence with the level and the environment as well, and you improve. I don't know, I wouldn't say I've been any more positive, but you're always positive, but you see where your level is as you go up the rankings, and as you get older, you're a bit more wise. And the Australian was a big step forward for me in terms of that. But as the years gone on, it's been little steps that's helped me, some backward steps, but mostly forward. But yeah, this week is you won't get too many more weeks like this where it's right at the top of the world tennis stage. Spotlight on you, that stadium, and the players around you. So it's great to be here in terms of that mindset of being confident, believing in yourself.
To go about tiptoeing around, I'm just wondering if being able to spend time with this level of player and champion sort of helps you maybe strip down a bit of whatever maybe an intimidation factor or other things you might have in a competitive situation with them moving forward.
What do you mean, like what? Like, am I intimidated before, or I'm more relaxed around them? Yeah, I mean, it's more just knowing them better when I have spoken to say Novak or Roger, maybe Sasha I've spoken to a little bit more in the past. I know he's training quite well and obviously same age group, but it's more just like, hello, how are you? Not too much detail, but yeah, being here, you just talk about more subjects, get to know them a bit more personally, talk about families, you know, siblings and stuff like that, and not myself, obviously, but yeah, it's just something you don't get taught to, and it's nice to talk to someone about that you get to know as a tennis player. Obviously, your job is around them week after week, but you don't really know them, so those are the things that help you feel comfortable with them, and it's been really good. There have been a lot of jokes and stuff and good chemistry, so it definitely does help. I mean, I wouldn't say you're intimidated, but the respect levels for them is huge, and I don't think that would change from this week. You continue to respect them, but you just know them a bit better.
Second row on the left.
Kyle, two very different questions. If you could boil it down to one piece of advice or one funny comment, is there one that you could share with us? And could you just talk a little bit about Andy and hip injury is a very tough injury. Movement's real important. Do you think he can return to the very top, or what is your assessment?
Well, the Andy one, I mean, it's very tough to answer because you just don't know what he's actually feeling, because you're not inside his body. It might be very sore, but he's pushing through it, but it might be okay. But of course, any injury like that where you need surgery, it is tough to get back, but I don't know myself, touch wood, as much, but you can definitely be sure that Andy will give it his absolute best in terms of the commitment to getting back and giving himself the best chance in terms of preparation and rehab. I know he takes it very, very seriously, and you speak to his trainers a little bit, they're putting in the hours in terms of trying to get him ready. So yeah, only Andy will really know where he's at in terms of the level. And the other question, what from this week?
Is there one specific bit of advice you got from one of the top players you can share with us that was meaningful to you?
Not so much advice. I mean, more just getting to know them has been great. When I've been on court, obviously practicing I have my coach here, so I'd always be chatting to him and stuff. It's been interesting talking tactics with those guys because you're always playing them, and they're obviously talking about you. So talking tactics about Team World, you know, and a group of us is very interesting to see the mindsets of top players and what they think and what you think. I've really enjoyed that side of it. But yeah, I mean, there was some sort of, you know, bits of advice in the match. But I mean, there's a microphone there, you probably heard it. So yeah.
Take the last one right here in front.
Kyle, in terms of team tennis, you've got a lot of Davis Cup experience. How does this event compare to Davis Cup in terms of your level of nerves and kind of apprehension coming into it, and the chemistry in the team?
Yeah, it is similar in a way, sort of how the week goes in terms of I don't know, you're chatting as a team. When you're on the road, you're obviously just with your coach and your trainer, but there's a whole group of us. We're having dinner together and stuff. That's similar. I mean, the preparation is sort of similar, you know, wanting to get ready, sort of doing a few off-court stuff, wanting to do your bit for the team as well. You know, taking it very, very seriously, and the guys, you know, want to do really well. So that's why it was great to do my bit today. It's a little bit different, just, I don't know, you sort of know me, well, I know my Davis Cup team just better because I spent time with them, so there might be a bit more banter there, and you know them, and this week for me has been very much getting to know them for the first time, some of them. But yeah, I mean, I know it's tough to say. It is similar. It's very much you're playing for a team rather than for yourself, and you want to do your best to them. But yeah, I mean, the Davis Cup final was definitely amazing, the noise there, and this has got to be up there with one of the best sort of places I played, and the atmosphere. So yeah, it's sort of similar, just a few things are different, but it's easy to say it's different, isn't it? It's a different event, you could say.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks.